Hey, today we're going to be classifying two-dimensional shapes. First thing you need to do is write down these definitions, and you can pause the video so that you can get them all down. We're going to be talking about triangles. We're going to be talking about quadrilaterals. You'll remember that quadrilaterals are shapes that have four sides. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to classify them using a Venn diagram. Now remember that's called a double bubble. And we're going to, it's going to look like this, so draw this into your notebook. And over here we have a square, and over here we have a rectangle. What they have in common is going to go in the middle. We call these properties, and it's the things that make them squares or make them rectangles. So these right here are right angles, and you know that both of them have four right angles. That's the little symbol for right angle. And you also notice that all four sides are the same. That little line shows that those are the same. Over here, we put two lines on the rectangle for the two sides that are the same to show that they're different from those other two sides. In common, that goes in the middle, they have four right angles, and they have two sets of parallel lines. These two, and then you have one set of congruent sides. So these are congruent, those are congruent. They both have that. Now what does the square have that the rectangle does not have? All four sides are congruent, whereas on the rectangle you have not all four sides are congruent. So what if we compare something else? What if we want to compare a rhombus to a parallelogram? Well, then we would have our two sides, four sides. They're all the same size, so they're all four congruent. And then over here we have one set of congruent sides and two sets of congruent sides. So now we're going to do our Venn diagram. And what do they have in common? Neither one of them has right angles. And it has two sets of parallel lines. Both of them do. But the rhombus, so it has two sets of congruent sides as well. These are congruent, those are congruent. Same thing over here. But over here, all four are congruent, whereas on the parallelogram, none of the sides are congruent. And so we're going to do some more of those. Now we're going to do it based on the properties. So this circle is going to be four right angles, and this circle is going to be four congruent sides. What shapes can we put into that Venn diagram? Well, over here on the four right angles, we can draw a rectangle because it has four right angles but doesn't have four congruent sides. Over on the four congruent sides, we can draw a rhombus because it doesn't have four right angles. And what shape goes between them? A square, because it has four right angles and four congruent sides. What about that parallelogram? Well, it doesn't have four right angles, it doesn't have four congruent sides, so it doesn't go anywhere on here. And we'll do more of these tomorrow. Secret word is ice cube.